Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Had to hit the opera on you knuckles. Now today is a very bad day for me. 3 years ago I lost my pops. And today is crazy because on Facebook everybody like happy birthday, and it's not even my birthday, and then I realized, oh yeah, today's my dad's birthday. He went on to glory at 70 years old. You know, he was a great man. My dad didn't grow up with his father. And for him not to do that and raise me into the man I am today, I'm very happy. The things that he did, he was a pastor. Like I said, I grew up in the church. You know, he was a pastor since he was, I believe, 8 or 10 years old. So he started at a real young age. He didn't smoke, he didn't drink, he did none of the sorts. He was he was the patriarch of our family. He was strong. He was the backbone, and when he passed on, it left a big gap, you know, in my heart. And when people say when somebody pass away, man, and they are gone, that stuff is really the truth. That stuff really, really is the truth. A part of you goes away, and the part of him that left, you know, really it messed me up. It's been hard to cope without him because, you know, I used to talk to him all the time. But when I was going through my stuff with my mom, we really didn't talk. You know, my marriage and my relationship, we didn't really talk that much because, you know, my mom didn't like the women I was with, and she was beefing with them. They were beefing with her because of some things. But I don't want to get into that because that takes away from what I'm here to talk about. My dad was a Cowboys fan growing up. He was a Starbuck and Tony Dorsett guy. Those are his guys. You know, he loved them, and then he still rooted for other teams. He really didn't have one team. He just loved to see people be great. His favorite basketball player was Julius Erving, the doctor, Dr. J. Really loved Dr. J, his swag, how he walked on the court, how he played the game. You know, he loved all that about Dr. J. You know, loved his toughness, loved how he palmed the ball and did things with the ball in the air. You know, and he used to carry me. He was going to seminary to become a pastor, to be licensed. He used to have me in his pouch walking around all day. And, you know, and basically at the time I was breastfeeding, and a lady with big breasts walked up trying to mess with me, and I bit her titty. And my dad said, look like you're gonna be a breast man from here on out. So that was a highlight. He was very fun, very charismatic. He didn't really talk much, but when he was around people he knew, he would talk. He would light up the room. He would have stories for days. He would have everybody around him, you know. And then my pops always looked out for everybody. He always wanted everybody to eat, and he wanted everybody to do what they do, to make their money. And the one thing that he always did was, you know, no matter how bad people would treat him or be mean to him, he never would strike back. He never would curse them out, you know. And he was very mellow and calm, and when he spoke, everybody was quiet. So he was very firm. You know, he made sure we were okay, made sure that we did what we had to do. You know, me and my sister had different fathers, but that was her second dad there. So it's a blessing, man. You know, even though he's here with us, even though he's not here in the physical, you know, he's here with us, man. Making jokes, still talking trash and everything. You know, that's why it's fun, like to meet everybody on Carcino for Life, man. It was fun because you guys kind of filled that gap where he left. Because, you know, I really wasn't watching sports. I really never wanted to deal with stuff anymore. I just wanted to just chill, you know, not talk. You know, doing this thing on my page is basically therapy for me, just to get things off my mind, off my chest, you know, because it's hard to talk to other people, you know, without him here. You know, it was easier to talk to him because he knew me, he knew my flaws, he knew what I was great at. You know, he always loved my fight, my fire. He always loved me going off and going at people, you know, when we were debating sports, he'd be laughing. But rest in paradise to my father, man, and happy birthday to him. You know, today he would have been 73 years old. So it's tough. It's gonna be a long day for me, but I know he's still here with me, and you know, and I know that he wants to make sure that I'm straight. I love him to death. Love you, Pop. Now, on the agenda and everything, I might do a live tonight, or I might do something else. I'm not sure. But basically what I wanted to talk about was basically I wanted to talk about how everything has been the past weeks and stuff. Shaquille O'Neal said a line on Inside the NBA talking about we should lower the rims for the women and everything, and that would help the sport. That wouldn't help the sport. The thing about the women is you should have the women playing at the same time as the men. And I've always thought, I forgot who said that. I think Sino said it, or T, one of them said it, but you ought to have the women play when the men play, and then you ought to promote it more. To me, having Candace Parker on Inside the NBA, yes, she has knowledge, but what does it do for the WNBA? Like, what does it do for that sport? Like, how does it bring awareness to that sport? You know, people are talking about, well, they don't dunk, so it's boring. And I'm like, they don't have to dunk to make it entertaining. It's just that, shoot, it's just, you know, women's college basketball gets viewership. Why can't the women pros? Because it's the way it's being promoted. The NBA don't promote it. They don't care about it. And that's one of the things, God rest Kobe Bryant's soul. Kobe was going to bring the WNBA out. He was promoting it because his daughter, Gigi, was going to be the face of that league if she wouldn't have passed away. And that league would have been growing every day because we'd have been watching Gigi, and then we'd have started watching more women's basketball. And people don't understand. It's but a lot of things also that hurt the women. It's a lot of LGBT out there, you know, for the women. And, you know, not if that's your preference, you know what I'm saying, that you like the same sex, that's your prerogative. But what they have to understand is you have to find an appeal. Not only that, who's your face of the league? Candace is older now. Candace ain't the spring chicken that came in when Lisa Leslie was on the way out. And then Maya Moore, you know, she took off because of reform and all that. I think her husband she married, I think he was in jail at one time, and she got him out. But to me, Shaq has to understand that's not the right thing to say. A WNBA player, I can't think of her name, came out and said that's a smart idea. No, that's not a smart idea. That's not smart. Look, you have to promote and you have to find an outlet where you could put them out there. You know, this is the problem. This is the problem, in my opinion, is that people don't support it because a lot of times people don't know when the games are being played. I don't know when the games are being played. I didn't even know when the women's were on. I just looked and tuned in. I know they probably had it on TV somewhere promoting it, but I didn't see that much promotion for it like the men's. You know, and nobody really respects him. Kyrie Irving had to come out of his own pocket to pay the women. He had to pay the women for the lost income and paid them to have some money in their pocket. But I didn't see LeBrownies do that. And you're supposed to be an activist. You're supposed to be for equality and helping. You ain't do nothing there. So I don't want to make it about that. But the women's, man, to me, if it was better promoted, it would be successful. But the problem to me is that the NBA or whoever's involved doesn't want to push it. And that's kind of messed up because it's a lot of women I grew up watching that could ball. Like Dawn Staley, Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, Shamika Holesclaw. You know, it's a lot more. Sue Bird. I forgot her name, but Karl Malone's daughter. She was raw. So you know, I'm trying to figure out why you guys don't want to promote it. You know, I just don't see the point of, I like Candace and her analysis of the game. That's cool. But to me, she should be doing more for the WNBA. I don't really think she's doing that much for it. I may be wrong, so don't blast me. If I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. But I just don't see her really doing a lot for the league. You know, she's not needed on the NBA. She needs to do WNBA and get us aware. I saw Lisa Leslie doing the Orlando Magic halftime thing. She was out there breaking down the game. And I'm like, Why aren't these women doing WNBA? Why aren't they pushing it like that? You a woman. All these women talking about equality and empowerment, but I don't see y'all promoting the league. And then you guys have let the LGBT community infiltrate the women's sports, the women's basketball. Which is terrible. You know, like I said, if your sexual preference is the same sex, that's on you. But I just feel it's too much of an agenda being pushed in that way. You should be pushing the person if they're good or not. You should push the person that's good or not. So, I have no idea, man. But thank you all, man, for listening, and thank you for the support of the page, man. I'm gonna have something later. You know, happy birthday to my father again. He would have been 73, like I said, and I miss him and love him. But thank you guys for the support. Please like the page, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to select all to receive notifications. And if you like what you hear, you can donate to the page. You can cash at me at the word welcome, the number 2, and then HDIITV. Thank you for listening, and we're out. Deezy.